Allah Almighty Himself says in the Holy Noble Quran that He is telling the most beautiful story. The most beautiful story in the Holy Quran, that means the most beautiful story in His story, is the story of the life of Prophet Joseph, Yusuf alayhi salam, peace be upon him. You know, you can find Hollywood, Bollywood, everything in its life story. You have passion, you have betrayal, you have conflicts, you have brother hate, you have tests, imprisonment, liberation, a big career, you have desires, and you have an happy ending. Everything you find in the dramas of William Shakespeare was told hundreds of years before by Allah Almighty Himself in the Holy Quran. The story of Joseph, peace be upon him, is an inspiration for every screenwriter, for every author, for every filmmaker, but it has to be an inspiration firstly for the believers of all heavenly religions, Judaism, Christianity and Islam, because he is a prophet of all of us, and his life story, his fate full of tests, is an example how to endure hard times, times of imprisonment, times of injustice, times of intrigues, times of hate, and times of betrayal. Joseph lived and survived every trial, and he had a happy end. The most beautiful story of the Holy Quran, the most beautiful story of history of all mankind's fate, has a happy ending. Is this not a very good message to us? Ramadan, the Sultan of the 11 months, is a happy messenger to believers. You know, we have not only Muslims coming together here, have a feast, have a nice evening. No, everybody shares the blessings of Ramadan. Ramadan is the greatest gift of Allah Almighty to us. If you see the pictures in places where people were the most in need, where people survived wars, battles, where you see so many orphans and widows, you can see in Ramadan they are happy too. They have something to be happy with. They are happy with their face, they are happy with Ramadan, and they are so glad that they can fast and break their fast with other people together. They are grateful, and this is the most special message of Ramadan, because every trial, every conflict, every problem, everything on this ending life has an end. But for the believer, it's just the start, the beginning afterwards. And Ramadan is a taste of this afterlife in happiness, all together with all beings. Thank you so much for the special occasion that we can share our Ramadan happiness with all of you. Thank you for your patience. Thank you for your ear. Thank you that you are so nice to us, listening to our humble words. And we will give you now the last minutes maybe to take a look into your hearts, to remember some nice memories of Ramadan in the years before, maybe of special moments, of special people, your family, your people in your homelands, to have a few minutes of making a dua, a prayer, because Rasulullah ﷺ, Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, says, the prayer of the fasting, waiting for Iftar, will be fulfilled immediately. So take this few minutes to think of your prayers, to think of your words, to remember the people most in need, to give a prayer for them, say a prayer for them, that Allah Almighty gives this grateful moment not only to us here in this kind house and welcoming place, but to all people beyond the fasting ones, beyond the Muslim ones, to all the creation. May Allah Almighty give us all a happy end. You know, as Shakespeare said, all ends well, all is well. All is well, it ends well. Thank you very much. Shakespeare was a big support tonight. Thank you. And thank you all. Have a nice, have a blessed, have a Ramadan full of happiness. This Ramadan and the coming Ramadan in peace and neighborly love. Salam alaikum.